All right, everybody. Boys are back. You got Mike, Tommy, and Joe, and myself, and going to answer all of your questions. Just wanted to remind everybody watching and supporting that you can go to my Instagram, fit.dad.lifestyle. There is a link in there, and on here you can go to APR, and you can check out everything that Mike has. And there's always a discount for some reason. He's always having things on sale to help you guys out. In the notes, whenever you check out, you can leave your affiliate code and you can use your affiliate discount if there's not a sale going on. But in there, put down like you heard it from the podcast or Are You Healthy podcast, so we can see how this translates into sales. And then also you can visit Morphogen and you can use my code to save some money there. And you can visit Tommy's Instagram. You can go to Omega Amino and you can save some money over there by using code Tommy. All right, that's it.
That's it. All right, see
That's
you
all the
guys.
plugs.
Yeah. So what were we talking about? Mike
Uh,
had diarrhea and
Mike has diarrhea and no titties.
I am the opposite. I don't have diarrhea, but I have huge titties.
Yeah, there we
So,
go. I think Mike's
Mike,
frozen.
Mike's frozen. Mike's
That's the diarrhea.
frozen.
uh,
Yeah, the mic sounds good.
hey,
Um,
well, big thanks to Tommy for that.
Oh, you're welcome, of course. My pleasure.
um,
I was
yeah,
setting up about 30 seconds before I was logging on. I was like, I really hope this isn't Bluetooth because
Yeah.
for some reason my PC has terrible Bluetooth.
Yeah, I use like a Bluetooth mouse. That's about it. And the keyboard. But like for shit like headphones, for computer stuff and microphone, like I don't trust it, you know?
Mm.
yeah, yeah. The Bluetooth keyboard is clutch. Like you can be
Oh
sitting
yeah.
anywhere and using it. Because I use
Yep.
it on my TV. It's great.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Growing up, I was a fat gamer, so I got really good at using like the Xbox keypad where you're just scrolling around the screen trying to type things.
You
I
tell
got really
people you're gonna
fast at
bang their
that.
mom and stuff.
so someone was asking about the rice cooker that Mike got. It is ROM or RO AROMA digital rice cooker.
Oh,
Um, that's the one I just got him the same brand and such that I have because I was like, I've had it since I've been married, so I was like 14 years now, and that thing's
oh,
still cooking. Yeah.
I have one of those Zoja Arushi or whatever the hell it is, and today I used my Instapot, and dude, I cooked such good rice in like 3 minutes. And I'm like that other rice cooker, one, it was like $300, and two, it takes an hour. So I'm like, man, did I just cook better rice in my Instapot? I'm like, son of a bitch, but that's okay. That's okay. We live and learn.
I like the ones that are like super Japanese looking. They're like
That's what
they
it
look like
is.
yeah, they look like a toilet, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
it looks like
it's
a
a rice cooker.
Toyota. Looks like a
Looks like a
Prius
toilet.
race.
That's what you want to cook your rice in.
I know
Yeah,
that's what it
man.
looks like. It's like kind of that same shape, and
It is. And the lid flips up like identical to a toilet. Now I'm gonna have to get rid of it.
I'm
Does it have the 20
uh,
buttons like the Japanese toilets too?
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know
It's
how
very,
many different ways it wants you to steam rice, but those Zojirushi have like sushi rice, jasmine rice,
yo,
long grain
I've
rice.
only ever pressed one button on it. I've literally only ever pressed start and it just does whatever it does and it works great. But like I said, I used the Instant Pot today and I made a lot of rice in like 3 minutes. And I'm like, damn, dude, that's that's annoying because now I have this rice cooker that I'm probably never gonna use again because this was just way too easy. And I'm like, damn, but that's all right.
My life was changed with the rice cooker. It cooked the black rice perfectly, nice and
Hell yeah.
fluffy, in like half the time of doing it on the
Yeah.
stove.
Yeah.
Turned into a super heavy one day, and he's frozen again.
Yeah. We gotta get him to pay his electric bill
It's
or his
Kentucky.
Wi-Fi.
The Cricket Wireless.
Yeah, his Cricket Wireless, right?
Uh, but no, I
All
mean,
those
for any
COAs cost money, man. We got to cut the
Yeah,
budget
yeah,
somewhere.
exactly. Yeah.
uh, no, for any
Uh,
like college kid out there, one anyone bodybuilding in college,
You're good now.
you need to get like an Instant Pot or like a
Yes.
Ninja Foodie.
The
'Cause
Ninja
it's an air
Foodie, dude.
fryer, rice cooker, a pressure cooker, crock pot,
So
all
good.
in one. It's like $120.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Then all the ninja stuff is pretty good, man.
Oh, I love Ninja. I think that'd be one of the best
Sponsors.
non-bodybuilding sponsorships to get, other than like, cars or shit like that. But
Yeah, or food, of course. But like, yeah, that Ninja Foodie, I have two of them, and I had the old school one, and then I bought the updated one. And man, those things they're lifesavers. That
so
and
nice.
in a Blackstone, once you have your own place and a backyard and stuff for the college kids, right?
Funny enough, I'm actually trying to buy my friend's grill.
Yeah,
Supposedly, I'm picking it up tomorrow. It's like a fancy Traeger grill
nice.
Ooh.
Yeah,
because
Nice.
I'm getting lucky because he's getting divorced. So he's getting an apartment instead of a house. So I'm getting
perfect.
shit.
Oh,
Making
the fire
lemonade
sale.
out of lemons.
That's right.
I've been there
That's
once
funny.
before.
Yeah,
That and the divorce papers, it's like that's her grill, and he's just like selling it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're gonna come after you now, Joe.
Well, I'll see if they can even find me because I'm not doing any bill of sale or paying sales tax. I'm just fucking taking it.
Oh,
Have y'all watched the Avatars movies?
yes. Up
Yep.
until like maybe the second. How many are there now?
I don't know. I think there's
Three,
three,
four.
or four.
I've seen the first
Holy
one
moly.
when I was like 12, so it's been a long time.
I've seen the
Okay,
first
yeah.
one and the second one, and then after that, I was kind of done with it.
Yeah, I watched the first and second, and then I've lost track of them now.
My kids were watching them because I'd never seen them before, and I was like, man, like, what's the storyline in this? And I find those blue things to be kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They are for sure.
You gotta watch it. You gotta make sure you get rid of all those aliens. Want to get rid of them. You only want to keep the humans allowed here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in my head though, it just goes Comic-Con, furries. Like I just started
Yep.
thinking of all that weird crap, and I'm just like looking at my kids. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, please do not
Don't
become
be a
those
furry.
people.
Come on, I go to Comic-Con.
Oh no.
Do
Wait,
you?
who do you dress up as?
I don't
Pep-
dress up as anyone.
He dresses
but-
like a peptide vial.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah.
No, my daughter likes going to it too.
Compound
It's kind
V.
of fun. But then, I used to have a pretty good comic book collection until my mom ended up throwing out like the first edition of the Punisher when he first shows up in the
What?
Spider-Man one. She threw away the original Ghost Rider. Like, I
Ooh.
was like, "What are you doing? Like, those
Oh,
were worth like
no.
$5,000."
Yeah, I was gonna say those are probably worth a little bit.
Yeah.
I think you get a pass for having a comic book collection. It's the people who are into like all the anime and everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure most of them are normal, but I feel like if you're into anime, you should
Come
probably
on,
be
Dragon
the
Ball
government
Z.
watch list.
I really
remember
want to
Dragon Ball Z
go.
was all up in our wrestling room in middle school and high school.
Yeah.
That was like, I don't know, people were always watching that, and for whatever reason, that was huge on the wrestling team.
I never
I've
got
never
into
A
it.
bunch of guys
Yeah, I've never
groping
seen
each
anything.
other watching Dragon Ball Z. Checks out.
Well, it's
Checks out.
fighting, and
Yeah.
you're kind of doing a combat sport, so
Yeah, I
I've
guess
never
so.
seen any of those anime things. I grew up watching Jerry Springer, 90210.
So much better. So much better. I
Jenny
remember
Jones.
I remember 90210.
So I have a Deadpool tattoo, and it literally says maximum effort, and it has bullet holes in it and like blood coming out of it for his catchphrase. And we were at Comic-Con, and Izzy's like, Dad, it's your favorite character. It's Deadpool. And I turn around, and it's this, had to have been an older gentleman that had a giant pot belly. I was like, that is the fattest Deadpool I've ever seen. I was like,
It's one-
"What?"
Oh
She's like,
God.
don't you want your picture with him? I was like, no.
No, not really.
It's one of those crazy Deadpools from that movie where there's like 30 or whatever
Oh
Deadpools.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like all that Comic-Con like stuff. It's just the weirdos in there. But I think it's fascinating. They had a Comic-Con in Tampa going on the same time as the Tampa Pro one year. And so
Oh
there's kind of like this
God.
crosswalk of
Yeah.
people
Of
living in
freaks.
hotels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's great.
think
But
we just need to get James to then do the show then, and then immediately go and just play Kratos again.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if I like I would want to dress up if I go to one of those, even if it's just for fun. Like I would want to be, I don't know. I would need a spandex suit.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Anything new
think
with y'all?
just same old, same old.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy over here.
No, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
I'm still
Um,
fat, but I'm 14 weeks out, so got time to
Perfect.
take it off.
saw those pics.
What did you say? Say all those dicks?
I saw those pics.
Oh,
Damn it.
pics. I said it's all those dicks. I was like,
Now,
excuse me?
now I need to send him new headphones.
Uh, no, just grab these
Freudian
ones.
slip. No, you what was your plan? Is you're competing next year?
No,
No,
it's November of this year.
Oh, up
Now
there?
you just shattered my confidence.
yeah, what the hell was that?
Uh,
Oh, like this year, right?
Like I meant like this year, next year.
like 80 days away? Like, uh-oh. You're fine, bro. You're just being
uh,
Um,
no, I'm a head case sometimes.
you just have the fucking bodybuilder brain. Am I gonna be
yeah.
ready? Am I gonna be
Just hurry up
ready?
and get on some melanotan.
But
Yeah.
I'm
You need to
on a
see
lot of
those
melanotan.
get darker.
Uh,
Become go from Joe to Jerome.
Yeah, exactly.
uh, I think I'm on the
Uh,
MT1, which is the problem because MT2 is always actually gets me dark.
Oh, oh, I didn't even know people still took that one.
I just took it because it was the one I could get the fastest because
Mm,
I had a whole bunch of bottles of MT2 and I tried reconstituting one and it gelled up. So I'm like, MT2 shouldn't be gelling up. There's something
yeah.
wrong here. And it
Yeah.
wasn't making me tan, so I just probably shouldn't be using those.
Yeah,
you got
don't use
someone's
those.
semen.
Yeah, that's why you're
It
fat.
looks
You're
like it.
you're pregnant.
Uh,
And Mike
That's a
freezes
weird one. I've
again.
never seen Melanitan gel.
No.
you're
What?
you're slow and freezing up a little bit.
I'm even on my phone now because I gave up on the Wi-Fi.
Your wife
Says
is
your
using all of your
network
data.
bandwidth is low.
Um,
That's
Is your
weird.
wife posing again?
No, like I'm
well,
Uh,
uh, we
AT&T sucks.
maybe
There we Yeah.
feedback.
Almost.
Huh?
Almost there.
almost.
Can you hear me? It's good.
We can hear you, but it's not good.
AT&T sucks.
Those are a little better. You're just a little glitchy, not too bad.
A little blurry, a little glitchy, but no one watches this. I think they just listen.
True.
Mm. No one wants to see my face.
Yeah, also true.
I will say I have improved the production quality. I started wearing a shirt. For a few weeks, I didn't even wear a shirt.
I think they like that.
Yeah.
Um, so Texas Pro is going on right now.
I haven't
I didn't
seen
really
too
want to
many
go.
pictures.
Yeah, I didn't want to go just because of I thought Joe was going to be in there. I wanted to see him in the lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't end up rolling with that. What do you guys think about I'm just gonna throw it out there. Um saying that his halo was Anadrol?
I think that's bullshit.
Nah.
Yeah.
That's the classic bodybuilder excuse. Oh, I didn't show up. I wanted its fake gear.
I'm glad I'm
Yeah.
glad
Right?
you I'm glad you said it so I didn't have to. But yeah, that's I'm just not buying it, I guess, in my opinion.
It's like, oh, I listened to his podcast. I think it was with Fuad,
Yeah.
and he was saying, oh, the reason why I didn't catch it earlier is I was working too hard and I was sweating too much during my workouts. Like, I mean,
Well,
I've taken some Anadrol in my time, and I don't sweat out all that water by the end of my workout.
the other thing is, how'd you get the test results back so quick?
Hmm.
How do you know it's Anadrol? You know what I mean? Like, did you get it tested or are you
He said just,
guessing
I think
or
he's just guessing, and then Justin, his coach, says, "Oh, that's definitely what it was."
oh, okay. I mean, I respect them
Yeah.
both. I was just
Mhm.
curious, like, did he get it tested or are we just assuming that it's Anadrol because he's like taken it before or something? You know what I mean? I'm
I
not
feel like
sure.
if you're gonna fake Halo, there are cheaper compounds than Anadrol.
I would do
Yeah,
D-bol.
and ones that would like play off better.
Hmm.
You know, like if you're gonna be a shitty drug dealer, like at least use something like close. Like I don't just make him a Remedex. You know what I mean? He'll probably show up
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I think maybe he just first of all, I think he just got too big and probably should have cut more aggressively at the beginning
Yeah.
with that weight size. And then he probably spilt over and couldn't get it under wraps. Maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't a difference in oral. It was just just wasn't in shape.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And he was in shape, just not as good a shape as Nick, and the contrast just made it look much worse. But I'm sure he was actually in great shape if you saw him in person. But when you're standing next to Nick and James and they're like granite, it's like you're kind of the odd guy out here, you know?
And going off of last year, I mean, seeing him in Texas in real life, I mean, I'm saying it's different. And hopefully, which you would have to assume that Justin took into account the size difference in the peaking process. So, but with all that added muscle, it's like if he just stays at this body weight and then does what Nick does and brings in that gnarly detail, I think he's going to be hard to beat in like two
Oh
years. But
yeah.
I don't think taking time off was that smart. Again, I'm a big believer in just getting emaciated, get the skin as thin as possible, and then
Yeah.
it's easier to keep that thin skin. But you got to compete like so many times, and he hasn't competed that much, right? It's like five
No,
times maybe.
I think he turned pro after like a handful of shows. And he's only been
Yeah,
pro for a few years, I'm pretty sure. 22 maybe? That sounds right. Like it hasn't been that
Yeah.
long.
I think he turned pro in 22, maybe even 23.
Yeah, so
So I think he did Cali 1 year right after he turned pro, and he didn't look very good.
and
And then the
he's a
next
young
year he
guy.
looked great, which was last year. Then there's this year.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think he just needs more stage presence too and more diets, you know, like you said, getting lean multiple times and
yeah,
staying lean, you know. He doesn't need to gain any more size, in my opinion. I mean, who's bigger than him right now besides like
no,
Samson, right?
dude,
Um,
it would mess up his proportions. I think if he got bigger, like it would just like because it's not going to go to the places where you want it to go. It's going to go to that midsection,
or it
and you
might, but so much of it also is going to go to the midsection,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
so it's like you gain you gain 15 steps only to take 14 back, right? You know, it's
yeah.
like I don't know.
I
Um,
mean, it might be worth, it's one of those things like I just look at other people close to his size or like his size in structure, like Nick, and you see what he's doing with peptides and stuff. And it's just like, yeah, maybe keeping him in this state of AMPK and fluctuating back and forth between mTOR and AMPK, it's just helping metabolically what he needs to get done and stays that lean. But
yeah,
I mean, Nick hasn't really competed that many shows either. I mean, when we're
but
talking like a Dexter or whatever, but he stays so
he
lean and
just
so
stays
insulin
lean.
sensitive.
Yeah.
And but it's even better now that he's been with Omega Amino in
Yeah, for
doing these
sure.
protocols.
Yeah.
Like something because again, we talked about this before. I saw him with Dom, and he was huge, but again, he was round, bubbly, full. But this is a different off-season look to where it's freaking it looks like Halo walking.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he's using less gear too, though. Like
He doesn't
Nick.
use as much gear.
Yeah.
And he does use he has his own blend now, right? So he's always using KPV and a lot of stuff that's going to help digestion and inflammation of the gut. Because sometimes a lot of that shit that's going on, it's not only just like growth of the gut, but sometimes it's just major dysbiosis that a lot of these bodybuilders have because they don't take care of their gut. They just absolutely slam food. And it does, even if you're peeled, like the gut still has like this watery look. And it just looks inflamed. None of AJ's guys have that because they're all taking care of their gut, year round. And you can tell that dryness is just different, specifically in their midsection. Like Robert Timms, I don't know if you guys saw him. He's a freak, anyways, but like still, I mean, that is one of the nuttiest physiques I've seen in a long time.
Well, look at AJ himself. Holy crap. That dude is
Yeah,
Yeah.
like dry and shredded 24/7, no matter what.
yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm most impressed about AJ is like it's the coach that walks the walk, and
Mhm.
it's cool to see that. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
he
that he
did.
takes more of a holistic approach too. Like he trains the human, not just the athlete.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
This guy, holy
Yeah,
crap.
the fuck is that, dude? What is that? He's just an
See,
alien.
see, Joe, if you get Milanis hand too and just go really
That's
heavy on it,
yeah.
this is what you'll become.
Your waist will look like that too.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Melanotan and
I have a
KPV.
how many people ask if Skip
Yeah.
is white or not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Jeez. That's
just
nuts.
yeah.
crazy.
It's crazy.
Best midsection.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not.
he's got that surge pose
Right.
going on there. I mean,
Hmm.
that was classic bodybuilding right there.
Yeah, it's
And
very cool.
he's legit, man. He actually does back shots.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
Wow. Yeah, the guy's nuts.
But as far as Joe, like I think in a few years he'll be really good.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
just give him
maybe it
time.
won't even take that long. I don't know, but I know he did say he wants to take time off or whatever. But yeah, I think he's gonna end up being a really good bodybuilder. He already is, obviously, but I think just like with some refining, like his physique can be totally different. I think Nick's
Yeah.
has come a really long way.
Yeah, I think he puts a lot of pressure on himself too, especially like, you know, he is very humble from the way he talks and speaks, but I think there's
Oh
more
yeah.
pressure now, even with like him having a child. And I think it's another layer because I feel the same pressure with like work or whatever I do, where it's
Yeah.
like I need to level up. And so like I also get disappointed in myself if I don't meet my expectations, which are
Yep.
always higher than really what they should be. So I can see that where it starts reflecting physiologically on stage. Now we see it in your physique, and I just think that yeah, just refining and coming back a year and a half,
Yeah.
2 years. Yeah.
And Nick has been bodybuilding since he's like 17, right? Like 18. So he has just years and years and years of experience and the muscle maturity I think is a huge thing too. Um, Joe's put on like 100 pounds of muscle. So like to make that look hard and like a year is just it's not practical. Someone that gets that big that quick, it's gonna take time to refine it all.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm excited to see what the results are for the Dallas. I hopefully Ken gets up there, but Patrick Moore looking pretty great, and the fact that he's on this gauntlet of shows is
What
insane.
number is this?
I think they said 9, or is
Oh,
this 10 now?
Oh my God.
Oof.
I thought Tampa was 9 or Atlanta was 9, I think. So I don't know if this is 9 or 10, but
Well,
it's great.
Bianca's going to have 7 this year.
Man,
So
that's
that's
crazy.
Yeah. That's a lot of hair and makeup.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It's like 7 grand.
You're telling me, buddy.
That's funny. I didn't even think of that part of it. I was thinking about my liver. I'm
that's what I
just
was
like,
thinking of
oh, that's a
too.
lot of Winstrol. Fuck.
Hey,
They
her
have to.
AST was 50 on the blood work this
Yeah,
week. So,
yeah.
not 100% back to normal, but not too damn bad either for 4 shows in.
Mine's
50
like
is lower
4
than my
times that.
cruise.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a 60 or a 70 when I'm cruising.
Yeah. Mine's always at least 100, just to be safe.
If anyone like posts and asks like, "How is my blood work?" and they have green liver markers,
Yeah. It's
the
like you
first
don't
thing they say
train
is,
hard.
"You train like a bitch."
Yeah. Yeah.
Joey
Yeah,
and I hit him with that both. Yeah, you need to start training.
I
Uh,
uh I hit the glutathione hard
mm,
along with the injectable NAC. And I was on Halo and Super Draw, and it still came back as green. And
what?
yeah, and it was Januszek tested too.
How
So
how hard did you hit the glutathione? Like 500 a day, or how hard are we talking?
How long were you off
200 milligrams
training?
a day, and probably 3 weeks before the blood work, 1500 milligram bolus dose.
No shit. And were you running that during your contest prep, like while you were taking the orals?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep. 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 200 milligrams every day, uh, while running the orals.
interesting.
It's always a
Yeah.
balance for me because I love running glutathione, but I don't want to run it too high just because it may make my liver better, but then it jacks up my CRP just from the pH.
Oh, does
Mm.
it?
If I take too much too frequently in like small body parts like biceps, triceps, if I'm doing almost 2 mils a day there in just glutathione,
Yeah,
it can be a bit of inflammation just from could be it's oxidizes over like a 6.5. So
yeah,
if it's like a 6.2 pH, then that's just going to be inflammation from the shot.
right.
Yeah.
So I try and bounce like, hey, maybe take like a week off of glutathione beforehand, but also you want to make sure you're still supporting the liver because you don't want to just be artificially lowering numbers to look good on blood work without
Yeah,
actually improving health.
that's a good point. Some things do that for sure.
Mhm.
I'll say the bolus dose was just with saline
Mhm.
mixing in with it, nothing else or anything like that. Because, yeah, to your point, to make it stable in one of those long term solutions and things like
Mhm.
that, there's definitely a solvent or two in there to keep it dissolved. Because taurine actually will keep it in solution, but generally it's in there with other stuff. And so you have at least PEG or something along those lines in there too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Andrew, you had pulled up those back shots I saw.
Oh yeah. I don't even know the bodybuilders without borders is showing them all.
And that's
I'll
that.
say,
Is that John Jewett up there?
I think so.
It looks like him.
So this one, this is the second. Wait, let me. He has the first call out. Uh, there we go.
Yeah, that is John Jewett, I think.
He's
Yeah.
having trouble with his midsection on the transitions on the side,
Mm,
but Ken looks a lot better.
oh, it just sucks standing next to Regan anyway.
Yeah,
true.
and then
I
but
don't know.
Patrick,
Patrick
man,
looks good.
right? Did you see that vacuum that he did?
Yeah, he looks good.
Not always the biggest Patrick fan, but he's been looking good this year for sure.
Who's
Yeah.
on the far left? What's his name?
Lewis Breed.
Ah, that's crazy.
I mean, look at
That's
him next
great.
to Jewett, which is
When's
nuts.
when's the last time he competed?
2 years, I
Breed?
want to say.
Okay, because I haven't even heard his name in a long time.
Are you talking about Breed or are you talking about this other dude?
Lewis Breed. I don't. I far left. What did I say?
You
Sorry.
said far left.
Yeah, you
Okay.
said far left. You're
Okay.
good.
Breed was just competing the last show.
Last week, yeah, but before
Oh, he
this
did.
kind of
Okay.
Before, yeah, he's done Tampa and Atlanta and this.
And then who's on the other far side?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know,
recognize
but
that
his
person in the blue.
posing may just be the angle, but his posing does not look amazing.
No. Yeah, I can't tell who that is.
But yeah, Jewett's standing next to Regan. I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
He's so damn tall. Like
It's
everyone just
unfair.
looks like short little midgets.
Yeah,
next
he's
to
so
him.
damn tall.
That's a good shot for Regan. That's nice.
Regan looks good.
He does.
From these. He should not try to vacuum again, though.
I am not
What'd you
a
think about
fan
his,
of the vacuum for most open guys.
No, most guys can't really do it.
I mean, I know I
What'd you think
personally
about-
can't.
What'd you
But-
think about Regan and his Atlanta costume?
Oh, I didn't see that.
I saw, I think it was AJ posted like, he posted like an 80s black guy in Atlanta. Then he dressed like a cowboy for Texas.
Yeah.
And of course, it's like the always AJ way to be like, is this the most epic bodybuilding costume of all time? Yes
Oh,
or no?
God.
Just leave the costumes to Kai.
Yeah, no shit. He's the only one that,
Exactly.
you know, and just don't ever bring him back. Leave it in that era.
Yes.
Or Ronnie bringing out the 10 Commandments.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot that Ronnie did that too. Oh,
Damn, Regan does look good.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound surprised, but I'm surprised.
And this is shot from someone's
it's
phone.
been a long time.
Way better than the cameras for his shows.
I know, it's so funny.
Like his hamstrings are dug out, man.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking at too.
Wow.
Looks to be in a
Horse
lot
range.
better shape than last week too.
Yeah.
He's with Dom Super Slice now. Is that who coaches
Mhm.
him? Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that
Patrick's-
shot on Patrick.
It's
Man,
his
jeez.
chest is so stupid. Like,
And-
what the
and then
fuck
it-
is that?
Just the twist in how small his waist is. It looks
And how wide
crazy.
his clavicles are. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's nutty.
Yeah. No, that didn't work.
I don't like the vacuum on Regan.
Not her.
No, he
Yeah.
needs to stop doing that.
Right.
Someone tell him. Like, all of his friends are just watching this and they're like, yeah, bro, hit the vacuum. Like, what the fuck?
Like keep doing them in the morning, but
Yeah.
leave
Right.
on the show.
In
Yeah.
private.
Yeah.
You're not pulling off a classic physique vacuum there.
No.
No.
We'll say congrats to Jay Brannon for 3 wins in a row at the Texas Pro
Oh, damn.
yesterday. So she's freaking on fire going into the Olympia here. So
Crazy.
excited about that.
She one of your athletes?
She utilizes some of our products, yeah.
Nice.
And her husband is Bianca and my coach now.
Ooh,
Very
breaking
cool.
news.
Yeah, I like his style. It's very analytical because I've seen it for the last 2 years now. And the
Mhm.
dude has like spreadsheets on everything. He knows, how to manipulate the potassium versus the sodium and everything in between. Like, it's pretty cool. Like when he's like, oh, we need to get a little bit drier for Bianca. And he's like looking through his spreadsheets and he's like, yeah, this amount of potassium worked last time. Let's go with that. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, you got everything in this laptop here.
That just to me goes to show how different some people are with like the kind of coach they connect with. Because if someone sent me a spreadsheet of doing 562 milligrams of potassium to a gram and a half of sodium while doing 9,052 steps, I would fire them immediately. I don't like this spreadsheet bodybuilding coaches.
Yeah.
They can work really well with some people, obviously, but I do not like it.
Yeah, we share that parallel. Anytime I see a spreadsheet, I just almost roll my eyes. But um, yeah, everyone works differently, right?
Mm.
Especially people that are come from the finance world or the engineering world. They like things to be analytical, like Mike said. Um, I like AJ's style where it's just, I don't want to say off the top of his head, but it's like it's a feeling and based off what he sees. And he's like, man, we need some more separation in the legs, for example. Do a quarter teaspoon of new salt with this next meal and don't add any salt. And then I send him pictures 2, 3 hours later, whatever it is, and it worked, right? And then he makes the next adjustment. So, um, yeah, everyone's totally different. Chris Aceto's just like, I don't know, do this. Okay, good. You're good. Go.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
it all works. It all works. Everyone just
Yep.
has different styles, and then clients have different adherence to different styles, you know.
Mhm. Because I'm sure
Uh,
if you gave some clients, like kind of like the gut feeling that you and I more prefer, Tommy, they'd
yeah.
probably have a panic attack, like, oh, he doesn't know what this is gonna what this is gonna change in my body.
This guy's
Uh,
shooting from his hip. It's like, yeah, well, he shot from his hip like a million fucking
For 20
times.
years.
Yeah,
So yeah, he
yeah,
knows what the
exactly.
hell he's doing.
Yeah, I'm all okay with shooting from the hip, you know.
mhm.
Um, and yeah, it's totally different styles, and yeah, we have that parallel where it's just like we like the more old school, just like artistic, like experience type thing. And then
Mhm.
more other guys are just so calculated and they're still very good. Don't get me wrong. They don't miss either. You know what I mean? But it all comes down to what the client prefers because the coach is going to do what the coach does and what they've done time and time again that just continues to work, right?
Yeah.
But every client's not going to mesh with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done both approaches and
Yeah.
like the evolution was kind of funny. Like I meshed really well with John Meadows. Like he and I got along. We did really well together. That worked out well. Then, went to Skip. Skip's great, but my issue was he was too nice.
Sure.
I was like, I need someone that tells me I'm a POS and get your ass into gear kind of
Sure.
thing. So
Yeah.
went with Phil Viz on that
Oh,
side.
well, that's a good swap if that's what you're looking for from Skip.
Yeah, exactly. He was the kick in the ass that I needed. He was the
Sure.
kick in the ass in the gym when we would go
Yeah.
and do that. So he had that down, but he was still, kind of more shoot from the hip. And like, I don't do well unless you're like, eat this at this exact time, then eat this at this exact time. I'm
Okay.
really good at following an exact plan. I'm a military guy.
Well, yeah, I
Give
was
me
gonna
the
say
plan and I'll
that's
execute.
yeah, that's military shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So then Drew was kind of the best of both worlds where he's like, hey man, you're being lazy in the fucking gym because like, he'll you can send him videos and things like that. So and then he'll tell you like, he'll give me exactly what to eat at what time and everything like that. Like on the show day, like I guess the 3 days before the show and show day, he has everything already, mapped out. Obviously, he makes adjustments on the fly as needed,
Yeah.
but it's like wake up at this time, do your check-ins with me, then go check in with the judges, then eat this meal. Like I'm like, that I can do. Like you give me the checklist.
It eliminates a lot of anxiety in competitors when you do have at least somewhat of a roughed out plan.
Hmm.
Um, where they kind of have an idea of it, what the day is going to look like a little bit. You know what I mean? I think that helps out a lot. Um, but yeah, I definitely know what you understand, yeah, or what you're saying about like sometimes a coach being too nice can be a negative, and Um, Sometimes you just want to be told like what the fuck to do. Like I need you to go get blood work next week. Like as example, right?
Yep.
If I didn't tell some of my clients to get blood work, they would not do it. And I'm the same way. If my coach, if AJ wasn't like, we're getting blood work on this date, I'm not getting blood work. I'm just being honest. I would not do it if I was just like, and it's not that I don't care. It's just I just don't care. You know what I mean? At the
Right.
same time. Um, but that's where like something like that's very important for me because when someone's like, all right, I need to see blood work from you next week. It's like, all right, I guess I'm getting blood work because
Yeah.
now it's in my plan.
Yep.
But when too many things are up to me, like I need to, like someone gives me a macro plan, I need to decide the food. I'm like, oh fucking no, just give me the food, dude.
I'm
You
the
know what I
same
mean?
way.
Just
It-
give me the gear. I don't want to pick my gear. Like, just give me the shit, dude. Training is different because training, I've trained for so long now, that a lot of it's intuitive. I know when to push, I know when to pull. I know when something's not feeling right and I need to swap movements.
yeah.
And Danny is totally cool with that. She knows how I am. We jive very well together. She's very John Meadows-esque with how she programs things for me at least, because that's what I prefer. So she knows I'm going to make proper swaps and then I will just notate them in our check-in, right? But I think training is such a more intimate, intuitive thing than diet.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I decided what I kind of wanted to eat, like, randomly, I would be eating, like, breakfast sandwiches and shit. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I don't know, like a bagel with an egg and sausage sounds good. It's like,
I'm
I could
100% with you. If you tell me add 10 grams of fat, I'm going to be like,
peanut
well,
butter.
that's 10 tablespoons of whipped cream.
There you
So
go.
I'm going to add
Yeah.
whipped cream to everything and I'll have hit my macros. Like,
Boom. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I don't need
Yeah.
to be eating that much whipped cream, but I definitely would because I'm a fat kid.
If
I
someone says, hey, add 300 carbs to your day, you're looking flat. I'm reaching for those
Sour
merge
Patch.
clusters.
Yes.
I
It's
do
pure carbs.
I
Easy
do
math.
that. I do that with clients. At times I'll be like, last meal tonight, I want you to add 100 carbs. And they're like, well, from what? And they like panic. I'm like, I don't know, your typical shit, whatever you have a taste for right now, as long as it's not like fucking whatever McDonald's
Merge
fries.
clusters.
Yeah, so they'll always like send me like, is cream of rice okay? It's like, yeah, dude, you'll be fine. But I don't write macro plans for clients anymore because honestly, I had too many that ruined the privilege and they would just do the silliest things. And even when I sent an approved food list, somehow the silliest things got snuck in or like I just didn't make things clear enough. So now I write meal plans and I write those based off their intake form, like what do you enjoy eating, what are you eating now, that type of thing, so then I know that they're not going to come to me after like 2 weeks like, I can't eat any more chicken, bro. It's like, well, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. You gave me chicken on your list.
Use a different season.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
to your point,
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead, Andrew.
I mean, I don't do meal plans because again, it's hard to make adjustments. Or not meal plans, macros, because it's hard to make
Yes.
adjustments because they're just going to do whatever. And then now I can't fix whatever you screwed up. But what I do is I do meal plans, but it's like a la carte. So I'll have like three different meat options.
Yeah,
And then,
that's what I do.
but then
Yeah.
I'll say like, but there'll be different ounces because everything's different. 4 ounces of
Yes.
chicken is different than 4 ounces of beef. So because as a parent, I'm like, what's in my fridge right now?
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
Hmm.
So we have to do a mishmash of something. Um, so I'll do that, and then meal one, two, three, four, and it'll be kind of like that. So you can mix and match whatever vegetable
Yep.
or carb you want. But whenever you're like, I don't get what goes through people's head. Like whenever you say add an extra 100 grams of carbs at night, donuts shouldn't be that thing because that's carbs
No.
and fats. Like it's like
Yeah.
just a carb source. So I don't
Carbs
understand.
carbs are just rice, potato,
Yeah.
cream of rice, oatmeal, like that's it. Sourdough bread.
Yeah, they're like
There's
muffins.
not that many,
No,
dude.
that's fat.
You know? Yeah.
Well, you're telling
But
me I can't just eat the muffin and take some Orlistat and
yeah.
it'll just count as only carbs?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Or else
Yeah.
Gotta do insulin too.
Professor Nuts.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was I had a horrific experience with that.
I didn't, luckily, besides me
Oh,
gaining weight from eating it, and I'm not supposed to because it's supposed to be no calorie, and I still gain weight. So
They lied to you.
that's okay. It tastes good. It tastes real good.
Well, because you have to be on the sugar diet as you're eating
Yeah,
them.
that's
And
it.
then it
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah, no, that was like making me shit my pants on a flight kind of situation.
Oh, well, you're a different case though, because you should not be eating shit like that with fucking your history.
That's true too.
I'm gonna call you out on that right away.
Fair enough.
Just
Fair enough.
you're on the plane sitting next to someone. I have a condition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I do have a doctor's note that says I can use the bathroom whenever I want, despite what that little seatbelt sign says.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like, are you
Yeah, like,
elementary school, you need a bathroom pass to go to the bathroom at work or something?
Dude, you just have like a lanyard and that's like your pass on it.
Yeah. Can I skip the line because I'm about to shit my pants?
It was literally from flying so much because when I did mergers and acquisitions, I was flying somewhere new every week. And sometimes they're super long flights. Like I flew Dubai to Durban, South Africa, which is like 16 hours, or Dubai to Tokyo, made that trip a bunch. So yeah, those 16, 18-hour flights. Yeah, I definitely needed that note. Like, screw your turbulence. There's about to be something worse on this flight.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, my problem would be is I'm not trying to brag here. I don't really fit in most
It's
airplane
hard.
bathrooms.
It's hard.
I try
Yeah.
and sit down to take a shit, and not getting graphic, there's not much room to move
You gotta
anything
wedge
around.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because you see some big heifers go in there and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
how
Yeah.
like you must like
Yeah.
squish in there and you're just like, I don't know, like a big thing of like Play-Doh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say, I think somehow I got down the wrong algorithm on Instagram.
Oh God.
I watched
Where's
like,
this
I'm
You're
going somewhere
welcome.
with this. Give me a second. Like all those like fitness reacts reels, I get sucked into them sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's like I thought it was gonna be one of them where it was like those plus size Disney people, and they're
Nice.
gonna swap to a fitness person making fun of them. But then I got like 30 seconds in, I goes, no, this is just a plus size traveler's reel.
Oh,
Like,
those
how
are
did I
great.
get recommended this?
Interesting.
I love those things. It's like walk with me and experience a day in the life of a 350-pound person going through Disney. We get here early in the morning at 5:30 because we don't want to wait in line. Like all this crap. It's great. You should go to this restaurant and sit in this because they have big chairs. It's just, dude, I love it. Yeah, it's so
Wanted
funny.
Disney, but you're not sure if you're gonna fit in the chairs.
It's the comment section that I love.
Yeah. It just
You're
right.
so brave. No.
It's just right away. You just hit the comments like, oh, I gotta see. I gotta see. And the top like 3, 4, 5 comments are always so good. They're always so good.
In their defense, I have broken a few chairs myself, so I do feel like before I sit down and like, is this chair going to hold me?
Yeah.
And I see where they're coming from, but just for the wrong reasons.
Y'all have questions?
Actually, I have a couple of questions from people, thanks to my friend Dylan. He sent in 5 questions by himself.
Oh wow. Yeah, I got a few too, so we got plenty.
Do you want to start with a fun one or a serious one?
Oh, you got categories.
I do. I have
got all
facted
fun
questions
ones,
and
by the way.
bodybuilding questions.
All right. Yeah, y'all
Um,
can go ahead.
serious one.
Okay, this one serious. We've answered it a few times before, so we should be able to go through it pretty quickly. How important is GH timing?
Well, I mean, are they talking about timing with food?
No, just like all at once, split it throughout the day,
It's not. It's
before
on-
not.
bed, first
Depends on the
thing.
dose.
It's not. And I could nuance it, but I'm not going to. It's not important. It's shit
It,
that people that like just don't have muscle worry about.
if you're
Honestly,
at
I mean,
16 IUs, I'd probably split it.
probably, yeah. I would probably split that like AM,
Yeah.
PM or whatever, pre-workout
Yeah.
PM.
Well,
It
in
I've done it
fairness,
all.
it's meant to be done 18 IUs all at once. That's what
Yeah.
Serostim is.
Yeah. Well, when you have
Yeah.
AIDS.
Or
So
you're a little
there's
person.
that. Yeah, true. But I mean, like the quickest, shortest answer is it doesn't matter. Just take it at the same time every day, whether you choose to split it or not split it. Whatever you enjoy. I mean, I've done it pre-workout and feel like I got maybe somewhat of a additional pump, and then done it bolus all at night. I've done it every hour before, where I was doing it in between every single meal. I've done it that way before.
Mm.
What I found, what Andrew said, if the dose just starts getting large, I do like to split it just because I don't like shooting a subcutaneous huge ball of shit under my skin. I'd rather split that up into two balls of shit throughout the day, right? Or even three. I've done it three where it's fasted, pre-workout, and then PM, like an hour before bed or whatever. In my opinion, it doesn't matter, but
Yeah.
you guys can defend your opinions.
To me,
Yeah. I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
no, it's same. I mean, you can get into the nitty gritty, but I think that comes with the territory of IFBB Pro, and then it starts making a difference. But other
Yeah,
than that,
especially if you're using there can be some interaction with Increlex and insulin if you're stacking all three. Timing does become a little different. But at the end of the day, what do you think, Mike?
I agree. I don't think it really matters. What was it? Dusty Henshaw or Big Ron is like, just get it in.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus of from all the smart guys I've heard from, you know.
I've done it in the morning. I've done it multiple times a day. I've done the bolus dose at night. Uh, I just stick with the bolus dose at night. If I add tesamorelin in, then I'll split it so that tesamorelin is at either in the morning or at night. I don't care which direction it goes. And then I just do my HGH at the other time. I will say I usually try to avoid the HGH in the morning though, just because that one makes me more sleepy.
Yeah.
Especially if when I was working, the corporate job, I'm doing head bobs at noon. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this isn't good.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I've even done it like I am pre-training to try to take advantage of that. I don't notice a huge significant difference. Maybe a little bit of a pump or something, but yeah, I've done it that way. I just think as long as you're consistently using it. I mean, I've done it every other day. I've done big bolus shots every other day, right?
Mhm.
I ran at one point. I was running 18 Serostim every other day, so it worked out to like 9 a day or whatever. So I've done that before. Didn't notice anything dramatically different, you know. So
Yeah, really, I'm on the same page with all of you guys. The number one factor is going to be total dosage. There's going to be marginal benefits. Maybe you take a pre-workout, you may have a little bit better of a pump. Is that pump going to mean you grow more muscle? Probably not. You can get the same effect for less money, but taking like AMP or just a pump product, you still get a
yeah,
pump there. You can take it
insulin.
IM, yeah, take it IM post-workout for IGF, but it's going to be so transient, it's not really going to contribute to muscle growth. You can take it pre-cardio for fat burning, but that's an expensive fat burner for what it is. So there are marginal benefits to splitting up and taking it at different times in the day, but the 97% of the results are just going to come from what's your total dose for the day or for the week.
Yeah, I Meadows was a guy that used it post workout.
I mean, I've used it post-workout. I am in the muscle I just
Same.
trained.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done
Did
the
I
same
say I
thing.
noticed a huge difference or just massive muscle growth from it? Not really.
Right.
Did maybe give me an extra 1 or 2%? Maybe. You really can't quantify that because you're not going to do a double-blind trial of someone training exactly as hard with the
Yeah.
exact same genetics,
On the
eating the same amount of food, and
on the
then
same cycle of gear. Like,
yep.
yeah, it's just yeah. It's a good question though. I think it's important that people that are newer to it ask.
Mhm.
And I'm guessing that this person might be newer to the use of growth hormone. So I do think it's a good question to ask for sure.
Mhm. And he's a very lean guy, so the insulin sensitivity issues shouldn't be a big factor there. So I wouldn't
No.
worry about like, oh, I can't take it with meals because it's going to hurt my insulin sensitivity. The dude's peeled. He's going to be plenty insulin sensitive.
Hmm. What do you got next?
You can do a fun one.
Okay.
What's your guys' favorite candies?
Oh man.
The girl from the strip
Um,
club?
yeah. What's her name? Candy? Um, man. I think Swedish fish are pretty good. Mike and Ike's are good. Skittles, and then chocolate would be like Kit Kat, Twix, Reese's. Um, those are probably my top go-tos. Peach rings are good. Man, I like all shit that's bad for you. You know, like I can just keep going if you
There are
want. I can
very
start
few bad candies out there.
yeah, I can start listing rec drugs I like too, you know.
Uh,
What do you, Mike? Professor Nuts, is that your favorite candy?
Oh God, definitely not. Uh, so I worked in Tokyo for a while, and you know how they have the crazy flavors of Kit Kats.
Oh,
And so
nice.
I love collecting the different flavors of Kit Kats.
okay.
And probably the matcha green tea one is my favorite out of all of them,
Nice.
but I have all kinds of crazy flavors. And one of my favorite things was I had an employee that she worked for me, but she left the company because her husband got transferred to Tokyo. And so they moved to Japan for like 2 years. I came into work one day and across my whole desk was Kit Kats of
Oh
all
God.
different flavors from Japan. I was like, what the hell? And then I looked at the receptionist. I was like, did somehow Vivian get in here? And she was like, yeah, we let her in because she said she had a gift for you. So she hadn't worked for me in 2 years, and she brought me like literally a desk full
That's
of Kit
badass.
Kats
Yeah.
I've
of
never get
all the
any good
crazy.
surprises at work like that. I just get paperwork.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
awesome. It
I
was like
just get in
raspberry
trouble.
cream, potato chip, like you
No
name it.
way.
Yeah. It
Uh,
was good. So those are my favorite, and you can also find them at like the international food stores or like the little kiosks at the
Oh
mall.
yeah.
You can usually
Yeah.
find them there.
yeah.
Andrew, favorite candies?
Um, so road trips as kids, we'd always stop at Cracker Barrels to use their bathrooms, and they always have the candy canes that are just sticks with all the different flavors.
Yeah.
So I think those are really great. And like the rock candy,
I was going to
well,
say rock candy. Heck yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that stuff's
Yeah.
great. Gobstoppers, like the huge ones that you used to
Oh,
get,
those are good.
and then like butterscotch hard candy. I grew up on that. Man, that's
Okay.
like nostalgic. But chocolate, I'm not a big fan of like chocolate candies, but like crackle, anything with like little crisp in it, it's good.
Yeah, like
But
a crunch bar.
yeah, 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 man. But those little candy cane stick things, we used to get those and we'd be driving in a car wherever vacation we're going, and we'd suck it until it's like like a freaking needle, and then
Yep.
I'd stab my
Yeah,
siblings.
of course.
I did
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's awesome.
there's no
That was
other
the only
option.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only reason why we got those.
Making prison shanks in the back of the car.
Right.
Did you ever get like the
Yeah.
Spree candy canes?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Those are so good.
Do you guys remember those
Any?
little gummy Coke bottles or like
Yep.
root beer
Yeah, yeah,
bottles? Those were good.
Yeah.
Or the sharks.
I
yeah.
may have 5 pounds of those in my cabinet up there.
In case you go hypo. It's
So
just
Yeah.
an
you got to
emergency.
have a healthy stash there just in case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Joe?
was saying if we're going just like sugar candy, I used to love the Starburst jelly beans.
Mm,
Way better than Jelly Belly or anything like that. It's like the Starburst ones were so
good
good.
call. Yeah, 100%.
Get those
I,
during Easter.
Yeah. Yeah, good call.
I grew up on like those orange slices, or like
Yep.
lime slices from Rite Aid Pharmacy. My dad used to always get those from work as he was coming home, and we would always snackle them in his truck. But if we're going like chocolate candy, the Three Musketeers bars were always really good, which with a lot of like nougat in it.
Yeah.
I never really got into like the Reese's or anything until I was a fat kid in college, just like peanut butter and anything with fat in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I never really got into those when I was younger. I mean, wouldn't say no, but they never like what I asked for. It was
Yeah.
always jelly beans or like Cadbury cream eggs.
Yeah, those are good too. Those are good too.
Yeah, I like all the
Uh,
new innovations coming out now where they're like mixing three different candy bars in a line. So it's like Reese's
yeah.
Pieces with like the minis, and then they do the mix it with the cups, and they mix it with the five breaks or whatever. It's just like the freak are you guys making over there,
I
man?
feel like all those like the heavyweight bars, even like all those cookies, there's too much going on in them
Yeah, there's a
sometimes.
lot. There's a
I don't
lot
need
going on.
4 different mix-ins in my cookie or my chocolate bar.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
Because what if I
Yeah.
like
Flavor
one of the
fatigue.
four and I just want more of it?
Yeah, you can only
Yeah.
eat so much of that shit before you're like, I don't know. I'm kind of sick.
I don't know. I've put down one of those 5 pound brownies that you get at the shows that are about like that tall and
Yeah.
like that thick.
Yeah, yeah. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, that was like the one time that I blew up after a show. I think it was like my fourth show of the year. I was with
Yeah.
Skip at this time,
Yep.
and yeah, afterwards I ate one of those entire brownies. Then had the burger, fries, and nachos for dinner. I was okay
Yeah.
the next day. But then I made the mistake of having barbecue after that
Yeah.
with all that sodium.
Get
Yeah.
it. Hell
Oh, my
yes.
ankles swelled up so bad. I went to one of my friends that's a nurse, ER nurse. And I was like, did I just fuck my kidneys?
Yeah,
And she's
yeah.
like, no, you're just a gluttonous dumbass. We'll get you on some, IV
Lasix.
diuretics and take care of this immediately.
Yeah. I did that after my first show. I think I gained 40 pounds over the weekend. My feet wouldn't fit in my Crocs.
You're right.
And Crocs are like a big loose motherfucker, right? And
Yeah.
so I would put my foot in my Crocs and the holes on top of the Crocs indented into my foot. That's how bad the fucking edema was. To the point where I actually couldn't walk. Like I almost had to call into work that next week because I was doing heating and air at the time, so I like, man, my feet were just, they hurt so fucking bad. My legs hurt so bad. It was terrible. Now I know why those diabetics ride those fucking motorized chairs in Walmart and shit. It's like, yeah, they're in a ton of pain, dude.
Yep.
See, I feel in a good way almost left out of those kind of conversations
No,
because
don't do it.
in my
Yeah,
only
no,
show
like,
that I've done so far, 3 years ago, I got done at like 10:30 p.m. because here in
Yeah.
Minnesota, the open guys are on stage last.
Yeah.
And so it was like 10:30 at night, and I was so tired because I've been up since 4 a.m. I said, I'm going home. I'm eating my oatmeal. That is my normal last meal, and
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
It's a blessing, dude, trust me.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, this last show I did really well. Um, I wasn't gonna eat anything, and AJ's like, no, I need you to see, I need you to send me a picture of you eating something with your wife and your son. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Um, so I did well this year. But yeah, previous times, man, like that first time, I almost really fucked myself up. So that second time, I was much more conservative. Um, it can be incredibly dangerous. I've seen people put themselves in the hospital because of it, you know. Um, man, I think the worst I ever heard was 65 pounds.
Oh,
And the
Wow.
the the
it's like
dude,
Larry Wheels status.
yeah, and the kid did start getting like heart palpitations and shit. So he obviously there was a huge concern there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's incredibly dangerous and it's just irresponsible like on all levels, you know. It really is.
Yeah.
But
I've
it's
always
usually
wanted
one of those
water.
mistakes you make once.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
true.
And you're like, yeah, I'll never do that again. Like I'll be disciplined.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never wanted like food like that after. I always wanted water. So it's like
Yes.
a bowl of fruit that has like a lot of hydration in it, and then like ice cream, like a milk, like a milkshake or something like that. Like I that's all I'd want. And then
My
I'd be fine.
favorite, yeah, my favorite thing about post show is like I'm not eating 6 meals tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm like I'm eating breakfast with my wife, and then I'm gonna have dinner, and I'm gonna prep for my Monday to get back on diet. You know, so like Saturday after a show, um, I'll get dinner with my wife, and then we'll do like a late breakfast or brunch the next day. And then I'll maybe have like a bodybuilding meal in between that and dinner. And then I'll just eat dinner with my wife and my son. And then I'm just back on plan Monday. So, like, really, Sunday is just like a reset for me. The calories are probably lower than if I were just to eat my normal 6 bodybuilding meals, you know?
Yeah.
What's next, Joe?
Actually, that leads in well to my next question that I got. And after this, I'll let someone else ask questions.
Okay.
But have any of you guys ever had issues with binging after a show? Well, not even after a show, but just after a diet, like uncontrolled eating to the point of like an actual binge and not just I'm really fucking hungry.
Um,
Not post
th
show for me.
that first show was probably the closest thing to that I've had. And then this last year, AJ and I stayed stage weight for over 8 weeks. So we were like lean, lean, lean for 8, 10, 12, 14. And at 14 weeks, I had an off-plan meal at night
Mm.
after a long day where I could literally, I was just an empty fucking vessel, dude. Like I could have emptied my entire house. And I felt really guilty about it, but I woke up just dry. I was up like 4 pounds, but I was still no water retention or anything. I'm like, fuck, that was a close call. And then I did it again like the next week. And then I'm like, okay, finally, after doing that 3 times, 3 weeks in a row, I got back on track. And luckily, the damage was only like over 3 weeks, was only like 10, 12 pounds, something like that. Um, so I did finally get it under control, but it's a very real thing
Mm.
for people, you know, especially if you stay lean really long after the show, which I do recommend. You know, I recommend trying to hold the sharpest condition possible. I mean, for as long as you can. But yeah, that was one where I almost felt out of control because I'm just like, dude, I don't know why the fuck I can't just stop walking. You know what I mean? You like it was like you just go into some mode where you can't control yourself. And I'm pretty fucking robotic, so that was tough for me. And, you know, being someone who's had, you know, drug addiction when I was younger, like it just brings back a lot of guilt that you can't say no to something, right? Because the best thing about like not using drugs anymore is like just the power that you have over yourself to say no about shit. So then when you do break, you know, on like your diet or something, it feels like that's like all that dark shit comes back, all
Mm.
that guilt and like it hits you deeper than just like, oh, I just fell off my diet a little. It's like it hits me personal when that shit happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I had binging problems with my first cut just because of the place where I was at. So like just like you, Tommy, like I had addictive personalities with drugs and such.
Yeah.
And that's like it's pinned in my first post in my Instagram, like kind of like my story. But just because of like being in college, being around all that stuff, you don't have any dopamine, like there's no dopamine hit, especially
No.
when you're getting peeled on like broiled chicken. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
distilled water and all that crap. And then it just got to the point where it's just like a stressful environment with school, not things not going well. I had two jobs, and it's just like, man, it's you need dopamine. And then that's whenever it's just you binge, and then you would feel bad, and then you'd go on and be fine the next day, and then the day after that, you just binge again. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's once you get that dopamine regulated, I think you put yourself in a better spot, hang around with better people, fix up whatever's messed up in your life, and just I think it makes that discipline a little easier, especially if you have a support group behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to AJ like, the next day. He's like, "Bro, you're fine." That's all he said. I'm like, "Oh fuck, okay." He's like, "You're fine." I'm like, "Okay, dude."
Yeah, for me, yeah, to the point about that dopamine hit, like I'm great until I have that first dessert. And
Yes.
then it's like the floodgates open,
You're
and that's the
fucked.
only thing I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
But the two things that's worked for me is, the next morning after the show, I take a decent dose of trizepatide or Retta to calm that noise from it. So then I can have just one dessert. And I'm not eating then like, door dashing five more.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, and then hanging around the right people too. Like this last show that I did in November, Niall was staying with me at the Airbnb. We're hanging out with Jared Feather. We're hanging out with Aaron Burke. And yeah, we all went to the buffet. I really wanted to go to the Vegas buffet. So, I was like, I'll treat everyone and we'll go have the breakfast buffet kind of thing. And we did that one time. But then it was like, then we went to the gym after that. And then everyone else is on their diet because they all take this really seriously. So then I was right back on my diet. And it was just made it a lot easier being around those people.
So that's a very good point because the night it happened to me, my wife was over at her parents having dinner with them. So I was home alone. So you know what I mean? It's like me
Or
versus
there's no one to stop you.
there's no one to fucking stop me, dude. And I couldn't stop myself. And it was me versus the fucking pantry at that point.
And it's
Um,
not even like your wife was like, hey, stop doing this. You know you don't want to. It's that you would judge yourself because you would think, oh, she sees it and she's judging me for it.
that's what it
Even if she
is.
just like, oh, hey, I'm going to take care of Landon. Because if
Yeah,
she walked by when you were binging, you would
right.
put thoughts into her head like, oh, she's judging me, even if I was like, oh, he's just eating and go do my day.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. There was just no one there to judge me,
Mm.
and there was nothing to keep my brain occupied. Like whenever I get hungry, I'll just if it's in like a dieting phase or whatever, if I'm hungry as fuck, I'm just gonna play with my son, and we're gonna go to the park or whatever, and I'm totally gonna forget about shit until it's time to eat again, and like. Um, it's no big deal. But yeah, they were gone, and I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, so,
Yeah,
but like I said, it just brings back like that guilt, that feeling of just like, man, you're still just a junkie. You know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm.
yeah.
fuck, you lose.
Yeah, I'd say if someone's in a situation to where they are alone, get outside, go somewhere, so
Yes.
like this is what I would do. Like let's say you are thinking about food, walk around grocery stores or like an international store or whatever. Allow yourself to buy something. Maybe if you walk around a mall, to be like, hey, $20, I can buy one thing for myself. Get that dopamine hit because purchasing something is a dopamine hit. But
For sure.
watching TV is not going to help it. Ordering something off of Amazon isn't going to help it. You got to
No.
get out of the house, drive around in traffic, do all those things because by the time you get driving, get to the place, walk around, buy one thing, drive back. You just spent 4 hours. And so now you're going to be hungry, but also you need your next meal in. So then you'll eat your meal. So I think that that's a better route to go. Plus, during that time, I would use like a carbonated beverage.
Yeah.
So 0 calorie, they have American Clear or things like that. If you
Yep.
don't want to do
Yep.
soda, just fill your stomach up with carbonation because at least that gets something in your belly while you're walking around and then getting some sort of dopamine response. Plus, the sun helps it so much.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so those would be
The
tips for people.
one of the biggest hacks is if you're a car guy, buy a sports car. And if you're hungry, you just go for a drive. And you will not think about food when you're driving your sports car. You know what I mean? Like that, it's a more expensive hack, but like if you're a car guy or girl, like man, just buying a car that's fun and eat your prescribed meal and then get the fuck out of the house and you'll be good.
Yeah, yeah.
Buy an Italian one like I have, and then you'll wind up fixing the electrical system every other day too. So that's going to waste 4 hours a day because the
Oh
reverse
God.
camera decided to stop working.
Perfect. Good old Italian.
Yeah, exactly. Wind up sitting in the trunk rewiring a harness.
Oh God.
What is it? What car?
I don't want to say.
That's all right. You don't have to say.
Send it to me.
All right.
Me too. Um, let's see. I had. Oh, this one we can nail out quick. Um, which blood markers do you all not to like do you all not like to see out of range, if any, and which ones are you okay with being slightly out of range?
I don't like seeing A1C, cystatin C, CRP a little bit. It's not going to bother me, but if it's like 20, I'm going to have an issue with that. And try to get another good one there.
Yeah, that's a good start. I would add GGT,
Yeah.
ApoB. I don't love those out of range. I don't think they should be. HDL is probably going to be out of range for most of us. Hematocrit is kind of hit or miss for some people. That can trend out of range, and I'm not like terribly concerned about it until it's like 60 plus, and then really I start to wonder about it. Um, Ferritin should not be out of range. I see that very commonly low. Um, that's one that should be addressed. Vitamin D3 should not be out of range. That's often way too low. Estradiol, I don't care if it's a little out of range, as long as it's, in my opinion, not above 60, 70. I think once it gets above there, I don't love that.
Same here.
Yeah. Uh, LDL, kind of hit or miss. I would like to see it closer to a good range. I think that's very doable if you're following a proper diet. I've had LDL in great range, even on tons and tons of gear. So I just think it's an excuse to not have that in range. In a perfect world, most things are going to be really close or just a little out of range, even on full blast cycles. The like we touched on earlier, AST, ALT, those can float out of range. Sometimes they get into, the hundreds. I've seen them 100 plus.
Usually over triple digits when I start paying more attention. I'm not like, oh, we need to stop anything until it's like 150, 200. But if it's in that 100 to 150 range, like, let's keep an eye on this.
Yeah, and technically ALT is worse if that's elevated. They will both elevate to a point, but if they're both extremely elevated or only ALT is elevated, that's not a good sign. But hopefully you have GGT with that so you can
Mhm.
kind of counterbalance those. CK is an important one that can creep out of range just from training. Bun is probably always going to be out of range for people eating high
Protein.
protein diets.
I don't want to see protein in your urine, though.
No, no, probably not. Creatinine is likely going to be elevated in most. Um, that's why you obviously want to do your statin C. Mike, what do you got?
Honestly, you covered it really well
Yeah.
on all of those. The only thing that I guess is more of a question for you then on the ApoB. I mean, that's strongly a genetic factor on that
Mhm.
one, but
I
do
see
you have anything?
ApoA is more of a genetic factor. ApoB, ezetimibe can control it pretty as well as just a good bodybuilding diet.
Yeah. Was that your next question? Like, how to control ApoB?
Yeah, I mean, both of them have a strong genetic component
They do.
to it, and you can move the needle
Yeah.
more on one than the other. I'll agree with you on that, Joe. But yeah, it's moving the needle versus like a complete overhaul on that
Yes.
one.
So for ApoB, trying your best to work in good fats, even when you're dieting, you can still trickle in some olive oil here and there, high quality olive oil, walnut oil, even if you're only using 2, 3 grams. It is going to help that lipid profile. And obviously your fish oils, things like that, such as bergamot, helps slightly. Um, Doing cardio, proper fiber. Bodybuilders do not eat enough fiber and they do not eat enough fat. And they assume that it's okay to have your HDL like 15. And really, we should at least try. We should at least try to get it above that, right? Because I
Uh-oh,
think,
I was thrilled that mine hit 15 last week.
yeah,
For 2 years, it's
I
been
mean,
7.
yeah, I've had it single digit for sure, but ApoB is strongly correlated with HDL.
Mhm.
So the better you can get the HDL, the ApoB is going to follow. So just doing those standard things of being cognitive of how much fat's in the diet. No one eats salmon for whatever reason, and 2, 3 times a week would be a great idea for most bodybuilders. Again, on the fiber's huge in how it impacts lipids, and I think it's completely underrated. In more extreme cases, if you just can't control it through diet and exercise means and things like that, ezetimibe is going to help. There's some people it's going to affect their training. Sometimes statins will run people down a little bit and mess with their training performance. Red yeast rice would be a more natural statin as an alternative to going right to RX medications. But yeah, just your standard shit. You can improve your ApoB, and people do sometimes use the excuse that it's genetic, but I've seen it improve time and time again. And the other thing is not getting too fat in the off season. Nothing raises ApoB like an unfavorable body fat. Being fat is just going to fuck up all your blood work, no matter what the
Yeah.
marker is. Your blood work is so much worse when you're fat. That's why natural people have shitty blood work too, because you can have a natural guy that has 25, 30% body fat. His blood work sucks just as bad, if not worse, than someone running 10 grams of gear. It doesn't even matter at that point. But yeah, I've seen natural guys' blood work that's just atrocious because they don't follow a diet, they don't do any cardio, there's no fiber, there's no health supplementation. So yeah, I do think you can help it just by doing your standard shit.
I'll say what did help my HDL, which I got from Drew from our Telegram chat, was the prescription strength
Fish
fish
oil.
oil.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
that one actually helped quite a bit.
Fish oil is way underrated. You need to get a high quality one because people buy cheap ass fish oil and it's normally rancid.
Yep.
So something like Nordic Naturals or Wiley's. I spend good money on fish oil. I will not cheap out on it because not all fish oils are equal. Half of them are just rancid ass oil or they're not even the proper oil. Leaning into EPA is probably more beneficial for bodybuilders, in my opinion. I think having a good EPA profile in the how the fish oil is compounded is important. And then, like I said, when if you are on a macro plan, stop getting all your fats from fucking peanut butter or shit that's just tasty. You know what I mean? Get your fats from things that are going to benefit you. You know, whether that's
Mhm.
ground flaxseed, avocado. There's so many good fats that have benefit. And I know I like peanut butter too, but it's not doing anything good for you. You know, when you can switch to a walnut butter or switch to a macadamia nut butter, those are actually going to have anti-inflammatory effects and
Mhm.
they're going to actually serve purpose towards the cardiac system and everything like that. Um, so yeah, guys that are on a macro plan, just stop using peanut butter. Just stop.
It got me on that pistachio butter.
Yeah,
And
pistachio butter is good. Yeah.
oh, yeah, I got addicted to that. But to your point on the avocado, Bianca's blood work for her cholesterol, well, in general, but it came back great. But her cholesterol was perfectly normal after months of being on Anavar.
Yeah,
And usually, Anavar is one of the rougher ones on your cholesterol.
sure. Yeah.
But like her sole sources of fat were avocado and salmon.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it blew my mind how much of a difference it made because I have her blood work from utilizing other fat sources during the
Yeah.
diet,
Oh, dude, yeah.
and then compared to when she was only using avocados, it was like, holy crap! I've never seen anyone's cholesterol be on Anavar for so long and still look perfect.
Food is absolutely medicine. And the thing is, we brush things off for their minimal effects. Like for instance, carrots, right, will help metabolize estrogen. You're like, well, I'll just take Primo or I'll take an AI or I'll take DQ. I don't need to worry about that. But why wouldn't you just do both? Like, why would you not want the benefit of the food first, right? As first deployment, as people call it, right? As
because
first choice, why would you not want to choose the food to try to cure the blood work?
because I
And
got to
then
eat
you,
7,000 calories and I can't fit vegetables in my diet.
yeah, yeah,
I
come on.
do.
Yeah, come on, dude. Come on. Um, but like, man, I would start working salmon into the diet before I would even take fish oil, honestly.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
there's so many cases of that where you can start curing the blood work first with the diet and then you supplement the diet. That's why they're called supplements with the supplements. And now you have a double working force instead of, well, my HDL's low, so I'm just going to take 12,000 milligrams of fucking fish oil and piss out my ass, you know? It's like, well, maybe we should look at your diet and add a little bit of fat and you'll be okay. Fat doesn't just automatically turn to fat, you know? I think people
Right.
still think that.
Does it?
Um, yeah, right. Yeah. Just straight to
I
your ass.
I will say though, this salmon's the one area that I'll go. I don't know if it's hippie-ish or what, but that's the one where you really want to get the wild caught versus the farm raised because the
Totally
fat
agree.
profile is completely different between
Yes.
them. And you can just see it from the total amount of fat. The farm raised salmon has like 30 grams of fat per serving
Yes.
versus wild caught has between 6 and 9.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 10 grams. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally different.
Yep.
Anything else, Andrew? Anything we missed
I
about
mean,
ApoB in general or anything else?
yeah, I mean with ApoB, man, I mean if we're getting down to like 50 or below, I mean, you need to go get a arthrogram and see what's going on. And because the calcium score isn't going to really help you. So it's just going to show the hard plaque, not the soft plaque.
Right.
Um, but outside of that, yeah, I'm never really too worried about cholesterol numbers. Triglycerides, that's more important to me.
I agree.
I I handle heavily on that cholesterol. I've talked to a lot of different cardiologists and they still don't understand cholesterol and they don't understand the ratios. and
Yeah.
they base American Heart Association bases everything on those parameters from 1950. So that's still what we standardized. And then we just recently changed in 2015, I think, to the ratio of cholesterol for diagnosis.
Yeah.
So we're really far behind on that. The other thing is if you're if you're enhanced and your testosterone is below what I think it should be, and you're taking testosterone, I'm worried, like, because I want to know what's going on. So, like, if you're taking things, given this is, we're talking in generals,
Yeah.
but I need to see that testosterone pretty high if you're taking a pretty high amount.
Yes.
Same thing with your free testosterone. I really need to see these hormone levels show, hey, I am taking this steroid. So I think that those are really important because sometimes sometimes like it's blown past my mind where they're like, yeah, like I'm on 750 tests, and then like their test is like maybe 3,000. And I'm just
1,500.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm like, and I blow by it and I'm just like, oh, that's pretty high. And then like I think and I look back, I'm like, 750, you're up. I'm like, that's that's so
Yeah.
low, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
makes me
I've seen
question some
that.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, and Eric Serrano, I got to meet Eric Serrano 2023, and he did a presentation on cholesterol and basically said total cholesterol is the most pointless fucking thing to ever exist. Like he's like, there's no point of it, to even measure it. And he just spoke a lot about obviously little a and ApoB, and he did mention the ratio. I'll have to look back on my notes for you guys and see what else he really touched on. But those were the big points. The ratio was a big thing. Um, and he did explain like how much of your brain is actually made of cholesterol. So
Yeah.
like by sacrificing all your dietary fats, like not a good call.
Yeah.
Definitely not a good call.
Yeah, and then going back to the fish oil thing, I know me and Mike talked about it last podcast, but again, like you were saying, the high EPA, really look for
Yes.
that in the ethyl ester form of fish oil. Uh, and I was just saying that EPA can convert to DHA, which is going to be used in the brain and eyes, but DHA cannot convert to EPA. So it's better to
Okay.
have more EPA than that. So
Yep.
go super, super high on the EPA and you'll be fine with your DHA to cover all that.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, the use of Humalog in prep, is this something that you ever use with your clients? You guys ever use Humalog insulin for contest prep or diet phases?
I'm doing it right
Depends on,
now.
yeah, depends on
Yeah.
how big they are, what they need, how much do we need to fill them, or
Yeah, it's typically something if we already had it in the off season, it's going to carry over into prep. It probably will have to get pulled at some point. Once people start getting really lean, real insulin sensitive, and the diet starts changing up. Um, the Humalog is probably the dosing at least is going to change, or at some point it's going to get completely removed, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, if I've had a 6 foot guy, big guy, super heavy, and to fill them up, it's like 1,000 carbs a day, and so
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
we need to push some of that because I've tried the route of not using it and using very calorically dense foods like dried fruit and honey and stuff, and it just doesn't hit the same,
No.
especially when the water goes in because I'm still on like 2 liters usually
Yep.
with those people. Because again, the body mass is different, but if it's a smaller guy, if it's a 5'6" guy, I can get away without using it.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Mike, what do you think? Your experience with dieting and insulin, Humalog specifically?
Honestly, I hate Humalog
Oh,
for me.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, like I guess I'm one of those weird people. Like I've tried it pre-workout. It makes me feel weird when I'm
Hmm.
working out.
Yeah.
Like
I feel
I
weird in a
just
really good way.
like the pumps are there, but it just feels like something's off, and then that
Okay.
takes away my motivation. And so I wind up having pretty crappy workouts. I'll get a great pump, but it's like not a great workout. So I just
Yeah.
feel, I don't know. I've tried it pre-workout, I've tried it post-workout, I've tried it before different meals, all different ways because I was like, this is the key to getting huge, right?
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
yeah. So I wanted to try it. I will say when I'm pushing my carbs in an off season, and for me, I can get up to 1,000 grams of carbs
Yeah.
per day. I'll use Lantus, and I feel fantastic on
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
Just a low dose, take it in the morning. Great pumps in the gym. Don't
Yep.
have that off feeling and things like that. So I'll use that. But yeah, otherwise, I usually stay away from it on that side. And that's more on a contest prep coach side. And I always say, I'm not your contest prep coach. I'm your coach
Gotcha.
that keeps you alive during prep.
Yeah. Yeah, so for contest prep, I'd really rather, I mean, don't get me wrong, I have guys use Humalog in prep, but I really would rather use something like Mott C that's just going to be a bit more subtle.
Mhm.
And it's just gonna be a bit more predictable. And there's no worry of, going like crazy hypo unless the dosing's like wildly high. But Mott C is probably a better choice for that tool that you're looking for. Um, Joe, you said you're using it now.
I do, and I am using it right now. But to me, it's really a case of fit your Humalog dose to what you're already eating. Don't try and change what
Yeah,
you're
for
eating in
sure.
order to use more Humalog. So if you're
Yeah,
coming out of an off season where you're pushing food high, you're at that 1,000 grams of carbs, Mike, using Lantus, using Humalog. Then as you slowly start to take out the food, maybe you titrate that Humalog dose down as you don't need as much anymore.
right.
But it's not like, oh, 16 weeks out, we're officially in prep, no more Humalog.
No, yeah,
You'll go from
exactly.
15 units in the dose to zero. It's you slowly titrate it down as you're eating less carbs. So then therefore your body doesn't need as much insulin to handle all those carbs.
Yeah. And
And sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, and if you guys are gonna use Humalog, please own a fucking blood glucose monitor.
Yes.
Please,
I
for
think
the
that should be
love
a
of
given with
God.
any kind of
Yeah, that should
insulin.
be a given.
And
You're
have
ethically
it
dumb.
with you. Have it with you. Because if I get a text message one more time that says, I think I'm going hypo,
Oh,
cool. What's
Jesus.
the number?
Right.
Oh, you don't know the number, you just think.
47.
Why would
It
you
feels like
think?
50.
Yeah, why? Yeah, I don't. But that's the thing, Andrew. You actually make that's a funny comment, but you can start to guess the number as
Yeah.
you learn. You test it enough where you're like, oh, this feels like a 60, and you go and check. You always check, but then you can actually start to learn what X number feels like in certain
Mm.
scenarios. But
Yeah.
I don't know
please,
about you, but different side effects hit at different points for me.
Yep.
So
yes,
it's like, oh,
yes,
okay, I know I'm at, 70 if I start sweating. If I start getting the chills and
yeah.
shaky, I'm down around 60 or 55. Like,
I'm very sensitive to low blood sugar. So when I get around 65, my speech starts slurring. I will
Really?
start slurring
oof.
speech. My vision will start getting weird. And yeah, the lowest I've ever been is probably 50. And I was literally lying on my garage floor. This was after fasted cardio. I was lying on my garage floor and I just came to peace with it that I'm just gonna die in here in the garage. I'm just staring at the ceiling like I cannot get up because I'm so incredibly just drained right now. I couldn't move and I'm like sure as fuck like this is how I die, you know?
Doing your few IUs of insulin before doing your fasted cardio.
Sure, yeah, we all
Yep.
try it. We all
Yep.
try
Yeah.
I've been there.
it.
I actually have a
It's-
bit of a funny story about cardio and feeling like shit.
Yeah,
So there was one point in a diet where I wasn't doing any kind of crazy cardio, like 25, 30 minutes, but I was getting really lean.
yep.
And so I can't explain how my body started doing it, but I figured out the only way to make me stop doing the cardio was make me need to shit. Like that's the only way that I would get off the bike or like pause it. Like, oh, I gotta shit, gotta go shit, come back and get back on the bike. So I would start biking, like, oh crap, gotta take a shit. Go to the bathroom, sit there, shit a little bit, come back, and then the second I started pedaling again, I felt the sensation again, like, oh crap, I need to take a shit. So the body kind of like the only way he's gonna stop doing cardio is if we make him need to shit.
Your body's allergic to cardio.
I love those self-regulating
Yeah.
mechanisms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I did fasted cardio with insulin before, and I was like, I want to put it a little bit higher, and I didn't tell my coach at this time, and Matt Porter, and
I
I
was
was like,
was Porter the first one to do that? Because that's the first person I ever heard it from.
that's that's where I heard I gave my experience to my next coach, and he's like, oh, so you guys done this? I'm like, yeah, and he's like, okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
But carnitine was another big thing with him
Yep.
within that as well. And then carbs wouldn't be till after the fasted cardio.
Yep.
So you'd have
Yep.
your drink right there. So I took a little bit more than what I should have because I was like, I had a type 1 diabetic um, client at that time. And so I was like, I wonder what he goes through. And so I made myself like lower my blood sugar on purpose. But it got down to, I think, like, I checked it. I checked it once before I was unable to check it again, but I got to 40, like 44, 43. And my wife is videoing this, by the way, because I come in and my tongue is numb. I can't feel anything. I'm like
Yeah.
delirious, I guess. I'm profusely sweating. I sit in a corner in the kitchen and I'm just like eating dry cereal. And she's throwing towels on me. And so I don't know how low my blood sugar got, but then she called one of our friends, a chiropractor, and he's a bodybuilder, and he's like, "Oh, he'll be fine. Just keep feeding him." And I went through
She's
like two
feeding
boxes
him.
of cereal.
Yeah. Yeah. That pit
Dude,
is
go
endless.
find
Once,
the OJ on that one.
Yeah,
yeah, once
yeah.
you
Well,
go
we didn't have.
hypo.
Yeah, I was just like, I guess I must have said cereal or something, and then she just like gave me a box of cereal. But yeah, that one I kind of remember going into like the delirious state, and then after that, I don't remember much.
Man. Yeah, it's and
Yeah.
nothing like eating carbs while you're hypo is like the most precious thing in the world. Like
Yeah.
literally carbohydrates are now life-saving and they taste like it.
Have y'all ever had someone or yourself try that? Which one is it? The fast acting, the Fiasp?
I've never used I always stick with Humalog.
It's like it hits you like 5 minutes, man.
Yeah, that one's very quick. Yeah.
Yeah, and like
Isn't
and then the
Humalog
peak is
like
like
5 to
30.
15 minute peak?
And this one's like a 30-minute peak after that. Like it's like
Humalog
five
can
minutes and then 30.
Humalog can take up to 30 minutes to peak.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
it was only Humalin, like the Walmart one. It took
No,
like 30
Humalin,
minutes.
if you do Humalin R, you can inject that intramuscular and it will react similar to Humalog. If you take Humalin R sub Q, it will take like an hour or two to peak.
Oh,
And then Fiasp, that is like in your fucking face right now, which is very good on a high day. If you need to eat your next meal and your blood sugar's still over 100, you can
Mhm.
take a little bit of Fiasp and be ready for your next meal, knock that blood sugar down. Um, Not recommending that, but I know a guy who's done it a lot. So, um, that's a good little tool. You can also try taking your fat ass on a walk.
yeah.
Again, I always love trying to do the more natural modality first to correct the issue
Mm.
and the drugs. You got to combine them, but not just go to the drugs right away. Um, but yeah, Fiasp is like very, very, very rapid acting.
Yeah.
It will knock that shit down right away.
I kind of want to try it, but I'm scared of it too at the same time.
Yeah, you just have the
Just have
carbs
your
ready.
carbs next to you.
Yeah,
I'm like already
yeah,
so lean already. I'm like, I don't know what's gonna do.
yeah. No, you just have the shit ready. You'll be good. It's not advice. It's just something, I heard. Um,
Well, I had a question that kind of goes
yeah,
along
please.
with our horror stories here. Uh, it was actually, what was the worst injection experience you ever had?
Oh, fuck. Have you seen mine, Joey? I think you were a
I don't
part of
think
that.
you've showed. I think we've talked about it yet. I don't think you've showed me yet.
Oh God. Um, I've had three bad ones. Three bad ones in 10 years, 12 years. That's not bad. Um, I took a shot. It doesn't matter what it was, but it happened to be DHB. I took a shot in my quad. It either crashed or whatever the fuck happened. Some voodoo happened. My leg blew up. I was holding 20 pounds of water the
Oh,
next day,
Oh,
and I swear to God, it was all in my left leg. I'm pretty sure I have permanent damage from it because this quad is now smaller than my right quad. That could be other things too, but I'm convinced that's when it changed. Um, I couldn't walk at all. I had to call into work. I went to urgent care and just begged them to give me antibiotics. And I told them what happened. I said I took my medical TRT shot and my leg blew up. And I think it's an infection, blah, blah, blah. They're like, you need to go to the ER. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that. They're like, we think you have a blood clot. I'm like, it's not a blood clot. I will sign whatever paperwork I need to have you release me and just please give me fucking antibiotics. And so finally they got me antibiotics. I didn't have health insurance at the time, so I paid like $500 for like 10 amoxicillin.
oh,
Um, I took those, knocked it down, ordered more amoxicillin from one of our friends, and then I was able to remedy that situation. Um, I think it was a year later, I took a shot in my right delt, a year or two later, and the delt blew the fuck up. Same thing, whole entire arm was holding water. Um, that one, I decided to drain on my own. So it's very hard. It's easy to inject a shoulder on your own, okay? Doing the reverse and sucking shit out of it is very hard to do on your own. So
yeah.
I'm sitting here trying to pull up on the plunger with these fingers, and if
Oh
you
no.
if it slips, it just sucks all the shit back in.
Yep.
And this was like gooey, nasty, gross. It looked like oil, and pus, and it was like
Mhm.
white and bloody and just fucking everywhere. And my wife then had to help me.
oh,
And she's never given me a shot or anything in her life. And now she's performing surgery
Oh man.
on my
Starting her
shoulder.
off on the light side, right?
Yeah. 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 So I drained probably 20 to 30 cc's of gunk out of the shoulder. Instantly felt better.
Mhm.
Instantly was flat. No more softball, beach ball in there. Um, and then just this last year, it happened again in my venture glute. And I promise, guys, I'm clean. I shower. I don't know what the fuck happens. It just happens to be a bad shot. That's the best way I can explain it. And there's no fever. I don't get a fever. And it just blows the fuck up. So, like a couple days before the Arnold last year, I took a shot in my venture glute, and my hip was just fucked the next day. I'm like, man, what did I do? And like the injection site was so sore. So, what did I do? I just started draining it and the same exact thing, pulling out this gooky ass shit. And it was better instantly, felt instant relief. This one, this is gross, but this is what the person asked for. This one I drained. I have 5 cc syringes. I put a 21 gauge in there. I drained 5 cc with the 21 gauge out of the ventricle, and then I just stuck a needle in there and just started pressing it.
Yeah.
And it was just
No, that's what
running.
they do at the hospital. Like
Yeah,
they'll do the pulling it out, but sometimes for the bigger ones, yeah, they just put the needle in, put the little pan below it, let it
yep.
drain.
So that's
Yeah.
what I started doing is I just put the needle in and just started pressing around the area and draining it all out. Next day, perfectly fine. No fucking problem. If you guys ever do get a bad shot, this is for the audience and you guys, if you don't know this, circle it, right? Put a circle around it. And if redness starts getting outside that circle, you absolutely have an infection. Each time I had these bad shots, no fever, the temperature, the body temperature didn't rise at all, and it didn't expand outside that area. So it was probably like an encapsulated fucking whatever, right? So I feel like I got lucky personally, because it could have been much worse.
I always keep Bactrim on hand because
Yeah.
that it gets rid of the cellulitis pretty quickly
Okay.
on that side. And so you don't have to feel bad about the subsequent two, because once you have cellulitis once, you are more prone to get it again.
Oh,
So it can just happen. Even if it's a completely clean shot, sometimes your body will just react to it with that. So once you get it once, you are more likely to get it again.
okay. I didn't know that. So I hope I'm done with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, purulent drainage does happen quite often, but that's typically like post-surgery, so
Yeah. Well, I did the surgery myself this time. So
yeah.
I had one time where I injected my glute and I hit a nerve and my glute clamped down on the needle and I couldn't get it out. I'm like pulling hard, it's not budging. I was like, what the hell? Like, so now I'm saying, thankfully, it was when I was living in Detroit by myself at the time. I was like, what do I do now? Like, I literally started watching TV and then, like, 10 minutes later, trying to pull it out. Nope, still not coming out. I was like, damn it. And then, like, finally, like half an hour later or so, it released and it came out.
my
And, like, there was no infection, there was no nothing. I just hit a nerve and it made like your glute's pretty big muscle, and that whole damn thing clamped right down on that needle and was not letting go for a while.
that is probably the first time I've ever heard that.
Dude, it was weird. Like, yeah.
That's crazy.
I can't beat either of your guys' stories, but
Boring.
just to make a more normal perspective for people out there. I think probably my first ever bad shot was actually my first ever UGL shot, because I was on doctor prescribed TRT for like a year and a half. And then I wanted to get serious about it, so I talked to the big guy at the gym, bought stuff that he made in his bedroom. I saw him make it
Perfect.
and shot it in my shoulder. The next day, the entire arm was red. It was swollen and it was warm to the touch. So, like, oh crap, that's not good. So I decided the best way to remedy it was wear long sleeves to work. And then when I went to go and lift at the gym that evening, wear a compression shirt to try and squeeze all the water out of the area.
Oh God.
And what do I do the next day? Because it's still all swollen up like 2 days afterwards. I shoot the other shoulder. Same
Of
stuff,
course.
same bottle. Because it's the only stuff that I had. So I'm not going to waste it. And it was fine the second time, but I was convinced for 24 hours, like my first ever shot was from a UGL was just a horrible infection. I survived. And then I feel like everyone's going to have a bad quad shot story.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Again,
Those are
the
weird.
first time ever shooting my quad, I probably put it in the wrong spot, but I did cardio, stuck it in, injected it, felt okay for like half an hour, and then the entire leg locked up.
Oh God.
I was walking around with a peg leg for like 4 days and
Oh.
I can't skip leg day. So I'm peg legging into the gym to go get on the leg press because I needed the weight to make my knee
To
bend to get
push it
down.
down.
Yeah. I tried training legs with my fucking water buffalo of a leg because I'm like, hey, maybe if I induce some blood flow, like
Mhm.
maybe some of this water can get out of here or whatever. I couldn't use the leg at all. Anything that activated that quad, it was just excruciating pain. I couldn't even train my legs for 2 weeks.
I had
Yeah.
cellulitis one time in my quad, and I was living in Chicago at the time, went to Northwestern there, and they're like, yeah, that's infected. And they gave me an IV antibiotic for it. I have no idea what it was, but the redness, like I'm watching my leg and the redness is just going away as I
Huh.
drained that IV. I was like, holy crap, like it's gone. They're like, yeah, we gave you some powerful stuff. You're good to go now. But then ever
That's
since
so
then, I was
cool.
like, I only put water in my quads. Like no oil gear is going in
Same.
my quad.
Yeah.
I
Andrew,
don't have anything bad, man.
so boring, dude.
I know.
I have another
Nerd.
one. That's how much of a drug
My
addict I am.
my first injection was in my quad with a 22 gauge 1 inch needle.
Yes.
So that one sucked, obviously. But it was just painful.
Yeah.
Um, the other than that, I will do my lat or my ventral glute, and like my muscle will twitch, it'll spasm.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
bends the needle. I pull it out, no problem. But then because it's bent, it caused some issues coming out, and then it'll usually kind of swell up a little bit. But put an ice pack on it, and then I recommend people don't train that area, because if you train an area that's already having prostaglandins being put toward that, it's going to make it even worse and cause more blood flow. So then you
Yeah.
might end
Don't
up
do
with
it.
the purulent drainage. So,
Yeah. Don't do it.
but yeah, that's all that really happens to me is if the muscle twitches, it just bends the needle. And but
That's why you
yeah,
need to use bigger needles because
Yeah.
a big fear of mine is I'll accidentally bend it and the
Break
needle
it
will
off.
snap and I won't be able to
Yes.
get it out.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna use a bigger needle so it doesn't bend.
I went to
My
medical school for one reason, is to use small needles.
yeah,
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 right?
exactly. My last bad shot was this was not that long ago, embarrassingly enough. It was I was taking a shot at test suspension. So I was taking a CC at test suspension pre-workout in my powder room, my bathroom downstairs. I would just hit it before I go to the gym. And I'm rushing, whatever, trying to get out of the house. I shoot it in my delt, and my lungs just feel like they're on fire, like a Tren cough or whatever. You know what I mean? And then my vision goes. I literally lose vision, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see again, you know? And like here I am in the bathroom. I can taste the metal and shit in my
Oh,
breath.
yep.
I can taste the test base like just fumigating out of my fucking lungs. And I'm like, dude, what is this poison? And like, I just remember I was so lightheaded and dizzy, I couldn't see shit. I'm like, I'm gonna die from a shot of test suspension. Like,
Did
what
you
a
go and train afterwards?
oh yeah, it
Of
totally
course.
cleared up. It totally cleared up in 5 minutes. Before that 5 minutes, I couldn't see. My lungs were collapsing, and I was just it. I almost felt hypo. So it probably just like nicked a vein and got in the bloodstream or whatever. Um, but yeah, it was so painful in my chest. Like I'm like, this is not how I wanted to die.
I think we've all had that one shot that you did, and you're like, oh my God, what have I just done?
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
What
Yeah,
did I take and what did I do this?
yeah. Um,
We'll do
I got
one
a
more question.
Yeah, I got a good one to finish
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
This good friend of mine, he's asking, does living a health conscious lifestyle financially make more sense than not living a health conscious lifestyle?
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1000%.
yeah.
Because
That was going to be my exact answer. Is just plain and simple, yes. And once you get into competitive bodybuilding, which I don't consider a health conscious lifestyle,
not so much.
once you go that route, I believe it actually can become quite expensive.
Mhm.
But just being a health conscious person, it's not only going to save you money now, today, next week, etc. It's going to save you money over decades when you're not spending all the hospital bills that everyone else your age is because they have diabetes, because they have this condition and this condition. And you hear about it all the time. Yeah, my mom's got X, Y, and Z, and my aunt has X, Y, and Z. And it's like, well, yeah, they haven't even attempted to exercise or eat healthy in the last 20 years. So, yeah. But plain and simple, you preparing your own food is way more cost effective. You knowing exactly what your grocery list looks like each week, so you're not getting any unexpected, like
Go on
random.
Depot, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And there's just so many ways to live a health conscious lifestyle, very affordable now.
And I mean, I know none of us have probably been to like a nightclub in a long time, but even just like, hey, I'm not going to the bars. I'm not paying for
Huge.
$7 beers or $20 mixed drinks, not paying
Yeah.
cover charges, not going out to the casinos, not
Yep.
going to the strip clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, whoa! Don't go so far now.
Not paying for morning after pills.
Uh,
Yeah, it just the everything about it is going to be more cost effective when you put your health first, in my opinion.
and it's easy to see like the upfront costs. Sometimes like at a restaurant, like, oh, they're charging me more for this kale matcha smoothie.
Yeah.
That's not a health conscious lifestyle. That's healthy branding.
Yeah,
Health
yeah.
Mm.
branding can be very expensive if you're buying like the organic tofu wraps from Whole Foods.
Especially if
But
it's in at the time. Like
yep.
if it's a popular thing at that time,
Yeah.
like they will lean into that and sell the shit out of it. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
But
Yeah.
Um,
just getting a chicken breast on a bed of lettuce at a restaurant, not going to be that expensive. You
right.
may not have it on the menu, like, hey, can you give me like a chicken breast and mixed greens? Like, yeah, $10, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah.
And to your point about the branding, like shoot, Walmart has organic grass-fed beef now. They
Yes.
have venison available. Like it doesn't have to be super expensive anymore. Shoot, I go to Meyer and I can get
Yeah.
venison, for I don't know. It's a little bit more expensive than ground beef, but it also has the same fat profile as chicken breast.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Well, my buddy just told me the other day he went to Walmart and the grass-fed beef was cheaper than the shit in the styrofoam that looks like fucking gross noodles, you know? Um, yeah,
Huh.
he's like the grass-fed beef was actually cheaper and this it was the same fat content. They were both 93.7. He's like the grass-fed was cheaper. And I'm like, huh, well, okay.
I was stocked up.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely 100%. Healthy lifestyle will be more of a financial gain. One trick you can use and tip for eating healthy would just be when it comes to fruits and vegetables, eat what's in season because that's going to be the cheapest. That's what the farmers have most abundant. So go that route. But then also when we're avoiding all these things that are unhealthy, like what Joe listed out, I mean, you end up with a very disordered way of thinking, and then that can mess with your mentality, and so that might mess with your productivity and your ambitions, and that can leave you to being stuck at a dead end job versus getting promotions, being innovative, you know. So, hang around with the good people, hang around with people that you want to get to their financial level.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hang around people that are less than because they will drag you down or they'll take advantage of you, but try to aim to be like someone else and like don't be jealous of them if they, you know, if you became friends with Sam Solik, that would be so great just to pick his brain on how he did it, but to be jealous of a person becoming so successful, it's very sophomoric. So,
You will be as
But
successful as your five closest friends.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I strongly believe that. And I do think living a healthy lifestyle, how could it ever be a negative? Like I don't know how it could ever be negative to be health conscious and care about that part of your life. And it's going to what Andrew was saying, it's going to carry over to everything. When you're in better shape, you're performing better, you have more confidence, you're going to get that raise, you're going to work harder at work. Everything just matters more when you care about yourself. Because if you don't care about yourself, what do you care about? Probably not much of fucking anything if you can't even take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Um, so I think everything starts with that foundation of just caring for ourselves and really taking good care of ourselves, so then we can pour into other people, right? So we can give that energy back to others and make them better too.
Yeah. Well said.
What do you think? Shots of test suspension to end it?
If you want to send me some, I'll do one with you.
Sure, okay.
I'm going to test no ester here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got that too. I get whatever it is. I got a bunch of them. Some are in water, some are in oil. Some try to kill me. Others just make me big. It's
Sometimes
whatever.
trying to get me to
Dude,
try
the wind
Tren
straw
base.
in water.
Oh,
Oh, that's
yeah.
the worst.
It's the best.
Oh, no, I
The,
got an
the best
MCT
is what you
oil.
meant. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that I
The
love.
the
But
other ones you gotta like shake them before you shoot them. It's
uh,
like, hurry, I gotta mix this.
I got it from a pharmacy and
Yeah,
it still would clog up the needle.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, man, and then, you can still take it orally. So I was like, screw it.
Just
And I just like downed the
just
vial.
drank
And
it.
then
Yeah,
my tongue was numb for like 15 minutes. I was like, the fuck was in here?
yeah,
It makes my
yeah,
tongue numb.
You got to make a cocktail out of it. Put it in some juice.
yeah, yeah. A
Yeah, right?
martini. Put a little
Exactly.
olive in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it was a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
two
that was a
hours.
fun one.
Next week, my kids have soccer tournaments on Saturday and
I'll be
Sunday.
out of town next week actually too. I'm
Yeah.
going to Washington DC for some coaching seminar. Um, we're going to talk about social media content and all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, I'll be out of town next
My
weekend.
That's why
hometown.
you did 2 live streams this weekend.
Oh
You
no,
did two Q&As.
I'm trying to get back into the live streaming. I fell off for a few weeks there.
You
Hit
can
up some
live.
gyms in
I can't
Tyson's
live stream
Corner.
yet.
Oh, they don't let you?
I was at 1,000 subscribers.
No, on Instagram, I'm still banned. I still have like
Oh
another
man.
100 and something days.
What'd you say, Mike? Where the gym's at? What should I be looking for?
Tyson's Corner.
Tyson's Corner. Okay.
Yeah, there's a good one out that way.
There
Uh
was one called like the shop or something. Is that ring a
That's
bell?
where Paul goes, Paul Barnett.
Oh, is it?
yeah,
Okay.
Big
So I'm not
Yeah.
Paul.
sure if you
Yeah.
want to go there or not.
Yeah, I'll go fight Paul. No, I like Paul. I like Paul. Yeah, no, I think that is where he goes. There's a couple really good gyms in that area, so I'm kind of excited to see it.
Yeah, there's only a couple.
Only a couple. Yeah, I'm only
Yeah.
gonna be there a few days, so I'm not worried about it. Not gonna reside there, that's for sure.
Have fun with the traffic. I don't miss that place at all.
Oh God. Oh
All right.
boy. That's
All right. I'm
it.
gonna stop the recording now. So thank you guys for watching. Whoever's on here still listening or watching. We'll see you next time.